We back. We are here in Marrakech, Morocco. We just got here a week ago, like 6 days ago.
About a week.
Bless you.
Maybe 8 days.
And we've got a new friend here with us we'd like to introduce.
Yalla.
Our head coach, Amar Sharma. Want to do a little intro of yourself?
Hey everyone. Yeah. Intro?
Yeah,
I've been with the team for 2 years. I was very fortunate, I think maybe right place, right time to be able to move into the current position of head coach, and it's incredible. Love helping creators build their businesses, and especially excited to be here to finally meet the team in person. You know, we've been like so many Zoom meetings all the time. It's surreal, but it's beautiful. Having a great time with the guys.
Yeah, I think what's cool to bring up is, we met around COVID?
Around
after?
there? Yeah, sometime around
online through, we were looking for a specific position, and I think you came from one of the other Facebook groups that we were in, a referral from there, if I remember correctly.
Artist Managers Connect,
Yeah,
I think it is.
And we connected, and we've never met up until just now. He lives in Spain, and we're just pushing the remote work. But right now, this year, we've been taking an AC World Tour, it seems.
AC World Tour.
Meeting all the team members that we've met around the world. COVID definitely pushed people into the online realm, and now we're like, cool, we can meet you now. So we invited him out. He's like, what's it, an hour and a half flight from...
2 hour flight?
Okay, yeah, that's
super
nothing.
easy.
That's nothing. And we'll probably see him more, because I think he can speak for himself, but I think he got the travel bug with us. He's on the Nomad bug.
That's what I tell everybody. I'm trying to work towards that remote life as well. So looking forward to doing it more often. And got a couple of places that you guys are going to that I'm going to try and make it to later on in the year too. So
Probably makes it easier that we're in this neck of your woods,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Being a little closer in Africa and like Europe and stuff definitely makes more sense for travel, I think.
Definitely. Well, I would like to get across to the States or that side of the world at some point too.
Yeah, it's super beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
you got
beautiful.
time for that. Yeah, it's not that exciting. So let's get into the travel thing. I want to bring it to you. And I can add my flavor on it too, because it's the first time we've been here as well. But what was your first taste? What was your first impression? Thank you, of Morocco or Marrakech specifically? Like when you first got here, gears are turning.
Yeah. Get out of the airport, you're like, oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
Really hot. And then you see all the taxi people there, and it's almost like they're all trying to hustle you straight away.
Yeah.
That was funny. But driving into Marrakech and the city itself, it was intense. Get out the cab, start walking towards the Riyadh, and it was like, whoa. Just lots of colors, lots of smells, an assault on the senses, I would say. But yeah, I think you described it as like a beautiful chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. I tried warning him. I tried saying, hey, man, he wanted to take a bus to get to the Riyadh, and he was like, no, man, it's part of the adventure. And I was like, dude, I don't think you know what kind of adventure this is. And he ended up having to take a taxi that he called the first one via an app or something, reserved it. They didn't show up. Then the next one he had to just like hail himself, and then he gets down to the main square. I meet him there. My phone is trying to call him. I've got bad service. And he was on airplane mode for some reason. I don't know why. So I couldn't even call him. And we just happened to stumble right past each other. It was very convenient. We're walking through the square, and I'm like showing him all the snake charmers and people dancing and all the fresh fruit and the chaos of the main square there. And I think that's when he started to realize what was happening. And then he's, oh, okay, now I get the chaos you mentioned. And we hadn't even gotten into the main chaos yet by the time he said that. We walked through the square, and then you start going in these smaller corridors. They're really skinny, and you've got motorbikes ripping by you, and small little tuk-tuks, and sometimes a horse or something, plus a bunch of people selling stuff on both sides and walking down the middle. Sometimes there's traffic jams with just people. It's crazy. And that's, I think, when you realized where you were at. I think walking down there, seeing all of that all together, the sounds, the smell, the sights, like all of it really tightly compact in those alleyways is super intense.
It's the most fun place I've been in a long time.
Yeah, that's I remember you saying that the other night. Like, this place is just really fun. And the people are really great for the most part. Like, we haven't had any negative experiences. I feel like everybody is fairly welcoming and friendly and open. I think some things that would definitely turn others off here definitely are exciting pieces for all of us, which is great because we're here and they're not. But yeah, dude, I'm definitely glad you're here and get to experience this. I think it's a very rare thing to know anybody that's, hey, I'm headed to Morocco.
I've been wanting to come here for years because it isn't that far from where I'm at. So.
Do people talk about it more up in Spain? Talk about coming to Morocco or vacationing down here or anything like that?
Not that much. Not where I'm at. Quite a lot of people speaking Spanish around here.
Yeah.
I've noticed there was quite a lot of Spanish tourists, but I don't know. Galicia, where I'm at in Galicia, I haven't heard many people talking about it. A couple of people, they've said they've been here and they like it too. Yeah.
It's about 15, 20 miles or something like 15 kilometers, I think. It's between 15 and 30 miles and about 15, 20 kilometers, I think, between the Gibraltar Strait from Morocco to Spain. So it's so close that they're thinking of building an underground tunnel, as I was telling you, so that they can move transport underground. That's incredible. It's super close. But I bet maybe in southern Spain you hear a lot more about it. But I do hear a lot of Spanish as well. So, yeah. Mostly it's French as the national language and Arabic, which none of us speak. So that's pretty cool. We're doing pretty well. I was watching a video the other day, though, of how similar words are in Spanish as they are in Arabic, though. Azúcar is like a very similar enunciation in Arabic. Yeah. And cotton, the same thing.
Algodón.
Yeah, algodón is very similar.
So there was a huge Arab influence here in Spain, especially in the south. You know, in Granada, the Alhambra, they have like lots of Arabic architecture there from when the Moors were. They had invaded and they were here for a long time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I was trying to have some Moorish food here too. There's a couple of Moorish restaurants. I don't even know anything about that. I just know that word and I know it's a culture and that's as far as it goes. And I think that's one of the big things that like interests me about Morocco and generally this area over here in Africa is that I don't know much about it. I genuinely don't know much about the culture. The language is here or there, but the people, like how they move, how they do things, I don't know much about the history, which is why I think I'm attracted to places like this. I don't want to be a dumb American. I want to be an informed American who like makes judgments off of my experiences, not just what I'm told. And I get that here. You don't get that a lot of other places.
I think it's also worth mentioning, it's just an interesting time that we're here. We're at the last week of Ramadan, which I know we said that to some friends. They're like, oh, nothing's going to be open. You're going to have nothing to do. You're going to have to like get your food ahead of time. We've had no issues.
No issues.
Really at all. Everything's pretty much open for the most part. You'll see some like lulls when they break the fast or they start. But other than that, I haven't seen any really difference. In terms of things being available, accessible to us. Yeah,
I imagine it's really difficult for somebody celebrating Ramadan to fix that food daily, during the day, smell the spices, the things they're cooking, and not be able to eat.
I was like walking down the street with some snacks earlier, and I could see people like looking at my snacks, and he's hungry. He's got to be hungry.
Or like when you walk down the street and you're eating, I've noticed I've tried to put that away to try to be a little bit more respectful, because I know the people that are walking in the street are fasting, and it's a 30-day fast. It's a full month fast. That's definitely difficult. I've done that before. And somebody's just eating next to you. You have the mental capacity to say no, but that doesn't mean that your stomach's not hungry.
It's part of it. It's part of the willpower.
It's part of the willpower.
That comes with it.
Yep, absolutely.
But I believe it's tomorrow or the next day. In a couple days, they'll break it and have a big old celebration. Tons of food, kind of celebrate the end of the fasting.
That'll be really cool to see. Really cool to experience. Hopefully we're out and about and we get to see some of that.
Yeah. And another cool thing in terms of the culture and stuff here, something you found out, told it to us, was this market has been existing pretty much like it is now, minus the lights and the technology that exists, for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, the walled city, the Medina.
Yeah.
It was built in 1060.
Trying to fathom that. It's like 100 decades.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I can't. It's hard. It's hard to envision.
The cities were... these alleyways were probably equally as full, like you said, probably with more horses instead of motorbikes and stuff. And they were probably selling very similar things food-wise, like jewelry-wise, like fragrance-wise, like spice-wise. All these things were probably very similar, I imagine, when the walled city was around. Maybe not as big or as advanced, but we're not too far away from the king's palace. And so this was probably some of the first stuff built in this area. There are a lot of small villages that kind of look like this. They're walled villages, even outside of Marrakech, but I think the one in Fez is just a tad bit older. But this one here, I think, was built in 1060. That's just crazy. I was saying to my grandmother, talking to her the other day on the phone, I said, there's a good chance that this riad that we're staying in is older than any building in the United States at all. That's crazy. By not even just a little bit, but probably by a lot.
Yeah.
Double the age of our entire country is probably the building we're staying in. What?
It's been renovated, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been renovated. It doesn't look like it, but
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's really hard for your brain to wrap itself around that amount of time, I think. But
sure.
happy to experience it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so our first weekend, going through the itinerary, what we already did, it was Saturday, we did some quad biking, or quads,
Four-wheelers.
four-wheeling in the desert. I was expecting a little more dunes.
A little bit more
A
dunes.
little more like in the desert.
In turn, we had to play dunes in our glasses.
It was cool. It was fun. It was, as you described it earlier today, dusty.
Very dusty.
A little
Yes.
dusty. It was definitely fun. I'd recommend it. It's pretty affordable if you're traveling on a budget or something. It's a fun activity.
$25-$30 each.
Yeah. Then we walked around the market a little bit more. We saw the main mosque here next to Medina. We went to the souks. Yeah, we never hit that blacksmith place.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
heard
get
you
there.
saying that this morning. I'm like, we
didn't
actually
get-
never did that.
We've got a few more days, but
Yeah, we secured some cool jewelry at the market. We got a sweet bag that we hung out there for quite some time. It's definitely a skill to negotiate in the market. That's what I'll say. I used to be terrified of it. Now I feel like we're naturals. We're getting better. Yeah.
Egypt really taught us.
Yeah.
Egypt really taught us.
You really have to start extremely, outrageously low and then meet them in the middle. Never take the first price. It's just, part of the culture.
No way.
It seems like.
It's about 8 times higher than what you should be paying.
Yeah. So the markets were cool. We'll probably hit those a couple more times. I need some gifts I need to get still.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah, I shouldn't be adding more weight, but I'm going to get a teapot.
no more wait. What else did we do? We hit the supermarket.
That was an experience.
That was interesting. They kicked us out early.
6:30.
Yeah.
6:30, I think they closed up, and it's like a 35-minute walk to the supermarket from the Riyadh. It's outside of the Medina, outside the walled city, and it's a regular supermarket. Being in Islamic culture, they don't drink, and so we wanted to get a bottle of alcohol for us at the Riyadh, and they closed much earlier for that section than they did for the rest of the grocery. But then the grocery closed early itself. We don't really know why, and then we decided to take a horse carriage back to the main square so we could carry our stuff back. Yeah, that was an experience, just going to the grocery store and then hopping on a horse carriage to take our groceries back.
And then just carrying the heaviest groceries ever down the tight corridors where horses and
the motorbikes.
motos are going down there, almost hitting you, knocking you over. It was wild.
It's an experience.
And then at night, we went to. You can say the name of the place.
La Pergola, 100% recommended. Live jazz, incredible food,
It was a
stunningly decorated, really cool.
Yeah,
I like
it was in a Riyadh too, so there was a pool downstairs, on the main floor. You have all this beautiful Moroccan tile and mosaics and stuff, and then the band was playing behind the pool with some neon lights lighting them up, dimly lit red deep lights that were really cool. 3 stories too, so the main floor had the small pool, and then the jazz band, which sounded really good. As you said, they sounded spot on. And then we went up to the top floor, and it was all decorated with beautiful trees and stuff. Felt very jungly, and you could hear the music perfect. It was really cool. It was definitely, the food was really good too.
Food was incredible.
Yeah, I guess some Moroccan tapas, just a bunch of different stuff. Food here is 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
Hands down. Everything we eat is ridiculously good, no matter where we go. It doesn't matter whether you're eating in the street stalls in the markets or if you're eating in a restaurant. All of it is absurdly good everywhere. All of it.
yeah. The meat pockets on the street. That was the first, I think, main thing we got. I was definitely blown away. It's just like a hodgepodge of different meats, and it's so delicious. So delicious.
With the cheese on top. They cook it on a griddle, and then they have this circular bread that they cut open in the middle, and they just stick it in a sandwich, and they put all the things Evan said in there.
Yeah.
Wow. I could eat those every day. I almost do eat them every day. Yeah. 15 dirham, $1.50. Yeah, $1.50.
Yeah, and then Saturday night we took our luck to the casino. There's apparently a casino there.
We weren't planning on.
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
We were looking for a club, found the club. It just happened to be next to the casino.
Yeah.
It's inside of it, right?
No, it was to the right of it.
Yeah.
It was outside and then to the right.
Yeah.
We went in first, and it was 300 dirhams to go in, so $30 per person, which I thought was crazy. No, it's a deep house club. Like, I get it. I want to go listen to Middle Eastern deep house, desert house. Like, that kind of stuff sounds cool, but I'm not trying to pay $30 to go to a club like that. At least not right now. I wasn't in the mood. And so we went to the casino, and we're like, all right, let's go win the money so that we can go in the casino. And we go in, and we win much more than we need. Evan hung out in the club because the casino had its own club. And then we went out and won a bunch of money. We shared a little bit with him, don't worry. But that was a fun experience just being in there.
Even the casino club was awesome.
It was a vibe.
Yeah,
I thought that
it was cool.
really great. Like, everybody up and dancing around their tables, people dancing on the tables.
Yeah, I paid like $20, $25 for drinks while I was in there. It was nothing.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't.
Yeah, it was a great time.
It's one of the first spots that I think we've been to that we didn't get looked at weird for drinking out in public. I think that might have been the first spot we drank out in public. I think that was before the restaurant and stuff.
Yeah.
La Pergola was first.
We had some stuff.
Yeah, we had some
We
drinks
had
there.
a couple beers.
We got to that place early,
Yep.
and then we walked a little bit further, and we found another place that had a roof terrace, and we had a couple
Yeah,
of drinks
yeah.
there. That place was cool as well.
place was cool.
Dar's
Yeah.
cold,
Yeah.
so recommended just for the rooftop terrace.
And you picked up the place right across the street too that I connected to the Wi-Fi. Dardar.
Dardar, yeah.
Yeah, Dardar.
That was fully booked.
Yeah. So
Looks like
if-
it has great views, though.
Yeah, of the Atlas Mountains and stuff. So if you want to go to Dardar, make sure you make a reservation early. But yeah, all those places right there served alcohol, had really great food, fantastic rooftop terraces with views. It was really cool. It was a vibe.
Yeah, most of the places here seem to have rooftop terraces. Some you need to book ahead of time. Others you can just walk right in. So yeah.
I think it's because the corridors are so small that eating downstairs doesn't really make sense. You'd have just such a small space. Even the place with the meat pockets, like, they even have seating upstairs
really?
on the roof. Yeah, if you go back, they have a spiral staircase so you can walk up to go upstairs.
way.
Yeah, it's super cool. And all these places, they're being in these alleyways, essentially, they're very hidden, very hard to find. You have to be paying attention because everything is butt up against each other.
Yeah.
I think you just have to have them, otherwise the vibes aren't right.
Yeah. Here's a food recommendation that you have to try. When you're here, you're going to think that you shouldn't try it, but you should. It's camel. Camel, 10 out of 10, probably the best thing like off the wall thing that you can try here, that we've tried at least.
That we've
I know
tried
there's
at
others,
least.
you know. Camel burgers is up next for us, but it comes out and it's almost like a beef brisket.
Yep.
It's so tender, just falls right off. Oh, it's so delicious.
Yep. There's so much. You really can't go wrong here with food. I think the only thing that I'd give a 9 out of 10 is that lamb tangine. But that was just lamb.
Yeah.
And that's still a 9 out of 10 for me. Everything around it was delicious, and the lamb was still good, in my opinion. Camel was something we had in Egypt for the first time, and we had to have it back here. It's ridiculously good. You remember when we had pigeon, too?
Yeah.
We didn't have that here, but
I
in
wasn't a
Egypt.
fan of that. It literally just looked like a pigeon. And we're from Chicago, so pigeons there are gross.
And street rat, or they're flying
Yeah,
rats.
They're not. So I think it was a mindset thing. But it literally looked like a pigeon, just with no head.
You had to
Like,
break
was
it open.
Just
That's
like
part of
the shape of a
Really?
Just
pigeon.
crack the rib cage open, and then you just suck on the bones. It's a very traditional thing for males, we're told, in Egypt.
Oh,
Yeah.
pass.
Not for me again.
Yeah,
No,
wasn't.
not for me again.
It didn't taste bad. Again, I think it was a mindset thing.
It was
Like I was
definitely
just
a mindset.
imagining my commute to work in downtown Chicago, and just
I just
like
catch one.
pigeons are just like eating Kit Kats on the road and shit. I'm like, no, this is a hard pass. I'm not gonna eat this flying rat.
No.
But yeah, food's good. People are really friendly. We'll do more exploring later.
That's true.
Usually on the weekends is the vibe.
This guy's not here very long, so we're going to get some work in this week.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting too.
Put in
Just
some masterminds.
right when we get our routine down, you'll have to leave. Be like, okay, I'm locked in. Ah, shit. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's all right. We got plenty of stuff done.
Yeah.
That's true.
Cool. Yeah, we'll check back in while we're here. We're here 2 months, and then we keep it moving after that, as you all know the drill. So we're here for a couple more months. We'll be doing some more episodes around Morocco, around Marrakech. We'll probably be exploring outside of Marrakech if time permits.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to.
I'd like to as well. Casablanca, Fez.
Yeah. Keep listening. Bye.
See you guys.